Hello, my name is Rob Keetch. I'm sometimes known as Dr. Bev, and I'm the LGBTQ ambassador for Llamau. I also perform up and down the UK and actually across Europe as a rather fabulous drag queen. That's the night job. This is my pal Wayne.
Hi, I'm Wayne Courtney, and as well as hosting a radio show for Radio Cardiff, writing for Cardiff Life magazine, hosting events all over Wales, I'm also a healthcare support worker for the NHS. But that was not how my career path started off. And we're going to talk about our first jobs.
Yeah, so my night job's quite glamorous. My day job, I work as a case manager for young people who've been found themselves in the criminal justice system. That, however, like Wayne's, is a far cry from my first job. So I think I'll go first.
Go for it.
Because mine was less of a dead end.
You'll know what we're on about soon.
My first job, I was 15 years old, and every Friday evening, Saturday morning, and Saturday evening, I went to a small garage behind a chip shop, and I peeled the potatoes and chopped up the chips. That was my first job, and I did that for quite a while. Basic money, but I used to get free fish and chips, which was always cool. So yeah, my first job, I peeled potatoes for a living.
Well,
Wayne?
my first job was working in the cemetery in the village, in the valleys where I was born. So it was a far cry from anything I ever wanted to do. I remember being 14 and my careers advisor asked me, "What do you want to be when you leave school?" And I said, "I want to be in Bon Jovi." Well, I ended up working in the cemetery. I was a grave digger, and that's where I stayed for many, many years. And again, that's a far cry from where I've ended up. I've gone from overalls to scrubs to sequin jackets. But I think the point we're trying to get to here is the fundamentals of employment that, and all the experience and life skills that I got from that first job has been carried with me through every job since.
Absolutely.
And I'm pretty sure you learned a lot when you were scraping spuds and eating free chips.
The chips section certainly stayed with my midriff. But it was, I had time schedules, so I had to go through X amount of sacks of potatoes by a certain time. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to keep up with demand. So that taught me scheduling.
Yeah.
And then there was the maths aspect and how many potatoes would we need for X amount of service. And that's stood by me straight through college, university, to where I am today, both my day job and my night job.
I think probably some of the more basic things which people take for granted is like, it gave me a sense of punctuality. I understood how important it was to turn up on time, to not let a team down.
Being part of a team.
Being part of a team, listening, being respectful to the public. Now, you wouldn't know at this point which job I'm talking about, whether it was my nursing or being a grave digger. So being respectful, turning up on time, being a team player, working on your own initiative.
Taking instruction.
You wouldn't know which job I'm talking about. So those skills, which have come with me through all my jobs and my careers, I'm so grateful for that first job.
And here we are years later. Performing to thousands of people on stage, attending BAFTA ceremonies, interviewing the stars.
Sometimes I find myself on a red carpet, like the Brit Awards even, and I'm like, I was a grave digger.
Absolutely.
And I was nearly 30 when I changed directions, and it just goes to prove you really can do anything.
So
You've
it's
got
important.
The skills.
Yeah, it's important to make sure you get that first job and learn what you can from it.
And I think it's really important as well. I was very lucky that the person that employed me for the NHS, I had no experience of nursing. She'd just seen a personality, she'd just seen somebody that could progress, and she took a chance on me. And I think it's really important that employers take that approach as well as the employee.
Absolutely.
People can change and people can adapt, but they'll always take those early skills with them.
Yeah.
I certainly did.
And you can still dig a garden.
And
I can still peel
scrape
potatoes.
And I can eat a chip.
But yeah, # my first job.